Students, welcome back to our science class. Today we are going to discuss few more points of this lesson, that is chapter 5, acids, bases and salts, part 2. In part 1 we have discussed about acids and bases, their nature along with their properties and examples, differences between acids and objectives of the today's class. In this class, we shall learn about meaning of neutralization. What is neutralization? We have learnt about acids, we have learnt about bases, then pH scale and about indicators. Now we are going to learn about neutralization. Use of phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein is the indicator. In our part 1, we have discussed about natural indicators like turmeric, china rose and litmus paper or litmus solution. But phenolphthalein is the artificial indicator. About its uses we are going to discuss in today's class. Neutralization in everyday life. Action of neutralization in our everyday life during indigestion and bite, soil treatment and factory waste. Hope all of you are ready to know how we are going to neutralize ourselves in our everyday life. Okay, let's start. Neutralization, it is completely new for us, right? Neutralization means we have learned that acid turns blue litmus to red and bases turns red litmus to blue. Let us see what happens when an acid is mixed with a base. We are going to use an indicator you have not used so far. It is called as phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein is colorless. See, you can see colorless. It becomes completely colorless. Earlier it is pink. If you add it to the acid, it becomes colorless. If you add it to the base, it turns pink. This is the indicator. It is available in this form, phenolphthalein indicator. Okay. Let us perform an activity to know the action of phenolphthalein on acids and bases. Activity 5.5. Fill 1/4 of a test tube with a dilute hydrochloric acid. The name itself tells that it is an acid. Note down its color. Note down the color of phenolphthalein solution also. Add 2 to 3 drops of the indicator to the acid. Now shake the test tube gently. Do you observe any change in color of the acid? Yes, we do observe, because when phenolphthalein is added to the acid, it turns into colorless. It becomes colorless solution. Okay. Add the acidic solution a drop of sodium hydroxide solution by a dropper. Now we need to add sodium hydroxide solution. Stir the test tube gently. Is there any change in the color of the solution? Continue adding the sodium hydroxide solution drop by drop while stirring till the pink color just appears. We need to keep on adding the solution, sodium hydroxide solution. Then it appears pink color because sodium hydroxide solution is base. Now add 1 more drop of dilute hydrochloric acid. Again we need to add 1 drop of hydrochloric acid. What do you observe? The solution again becomes colorless. What? Because again the acid nature increase, so it turns into colorless. Then add 1 drop of sodium hydroxide solution. If we add sodium hydroxide solution again to the same mixture, is there any change in color? Yes, we can see change in color, that the solution again becomes pink. Now basic property increases, so the phenolphthalein changes into pink color. It is evident that when the solution is basic, phenolphthalein gives a pink color. It changes into pink color. On the other hand, when the solution is acidic, it remains colorless. Phenolphthalein gives pink color if the solution is basic. It remains colorless if the solution is acidic. Like this, the phenolphthalein indicator helps us to know whether the given solution is acidic or basic. By this small image, we can see that the action of phenolphthalein. See, when phenolphthalein is added to the hydrochloric acid, it turns into colorless solution. When a drop of sodium hydroxide is added to the phenolphthalein, it turns to pink. Observe the image carefully. Now it is in pink color, right? Like this, phenolphthalein changes into pink when it is added to the basic solution, and it changes into colorless. It remains colorless when it is added to the acidic solution. Neutralization in our everyday life. Let us see. First, indigestion. Indigestion takes place because of more acid in our stomach, right? Our stomach contains hydrochloric acid. Already we know that because it helps us to digest the food. We have discussed about this in chapter 2, that is nutrition in animal, human digestive system. Okay, hydrochloric acid plays an important role to digest all types of nutrition. Right, but too much acid in the stomach causes indigestion. If the level of acid increases in our stomach, it causes indigestion. To relieve indigestion, we take an antacid like milk of magnesia. The milk of magnesia contains magnesium hydroxide. This neutralizes the effect of acid, magnesium hydroxide. It is basic. Okay, so it neutralizes the acid present in our stomach. Then the pH becomes exact 7. You can see when it is acid, it is completely orange, which indicates the presence of acid. When magnesium hydroxide is added, okay, it turns into neutralize the stomach. More stuff you have experienced it when ant bites to you, you will get a small bump on your skin, right? Because ant sting contains formic acid. Ant sting contains formic acid. When it bites, that acid is ejected into our body. When ant bites, it releases acid into our skin. This causes itching and irritation. This effect can be neutralized by rubbing moist baking soda. Means baking soda is rubbed on the place where ant is bite. Sodium hydrogen carbonate. This can also be neutralized by calamine solution, which contains zinc carbonate. You can use calamine solution to make it neutral. It is basic because acid is entered into your skin, right? So we need to use sodium hydrogen carbonate or calamine solution to make it neutral. See, if we want to make the neutral, we need to add base to the acid. Here acid is entered, formic acid is released into our skin. So by rubbing it with calamine lotion, it becomes neutral. How the soil is treated. Soil treatment, much use of chemical fertilizer makes the soil acidic. Already we know that NPK, so many different types of chemical fertilizers are used for the soil to get more yield, because nowadays farmers are using more scientific things, so to get more yield and more profit, right? So instead of using chemical fertilizer, it is better to use organic fertilizer. But here we don't have more opportunity to use organic fertilizer. We need quick yield, so we are using chemical fertilizer, which makes the soil acidic. Plants did not grow in much acidic and much basic solution. Soil should be neutral. Then only we can grow any types of plants in different types of soils, right? If it is acidic or basic, then plants should not grow. When soil is too acidic, it can be treated by bases. If it is acid, we have to add the base. If it is basic, we need to treat with acid. So here quicklime or calcium oxide and slaked lime, calcium hydroxide. Calcium oxide and calcium hydroxide is used to neutralize the soil. Acidic soil neutralized with lime. Quicklime, it is a common word. When we see its chemical name, it is known as calcium oxide and calcium hydroxide. These are the two things which is used to make the soil neutral if it is acidic. If the soil is basic, then organic matter is added in order to make it neutralized so that plants can grow. If it is acid, we are going to treat it with calcium oxide and calcium hydroxide. If the soil is basic in nature, organic matter, Savayava Gobbara is the exact word which we are using it in most of the fields to make it neutralize. If it is basic, we need to add organic matters, okay, to make it neutralize. Thus, soil is treated with acids and bases to neutralize. Factory waste, how it is neutralized. Let us see how factory waste is going to be neutralized. Factory waste, the waste of factories contains acid. If they are allowed to flow in water bodies, the water body becomes acidic and many aquatic plants and animals may be killed. What happens? Most of the aquatic plants and animals survive in water. If we throw this factory waste, which is highly acidic, to the water, definitely it will be dangerous for their life. So they all are killed. Factory waste is first neutralized by basic substances and then the waste is thrown in water. First it is neutralized. So it becomes neutralized by adding basic. Already we know that if acid and base combines together, it becomes neutral. Then if it is neutral, it is not harmful for any plants and animals. This may not make the water body acidic in nature. So, instead of sending this factory waste directly to the water, it is treated with the basic substance, which makes it neutral. Then it is added to the water so that it doesn't affect for aquatic plants or animals' life. Thus, factory waste is treated. Let us summarize the topic by seeing few highlights. Summary of the topic is like this. Acids are sour in taste generally, bases are bitter in taste, soapy to touch. Acid turns blue litmus red, base turns red litmus blue. Substances which are neither acidic nor basic are called as neutral. Solution of substances that show different color in acidic, basic and neutral solution are called as indicators. An acid and a base neutralizes each other and form a salt. A salt may be acidic, basic or neutral in nature. Today we have discussed about neutralization reaction and action of phenolphthalein on acids and bases. Then we discussed about neutralization in everyday life. Hope you understood the concept and enjoyed the video. Bye bye students. Thank you. Have a nice day.